Well,
You know what you're doing
dig
here?
'em up.
You're telling us what we're doing here because I actually don't know what we're covering today.
You don't. So welcome to Season Vets. We're back for another episode. I'm Martin Henn.
I'm Colton Dowling.
We've got our buddy Jimmy Clifford here with us as well. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We are going to talk about sports like we usually do without actually talking about sports. So today we're doing another kind of topical one. We were doing Brittany Griner not too long ago. This week we're going to be talking about a story that's actually very close to home.
Oklahoma?
No, closer. You want to take another guess?
Katy Perry, Texas.
Closer.
I actually don't know where Perry or Katy, Texas is.
Is Perry, Texas a thing?
Yes. That's where Greg Abbott got his tree fell on.
In Perry?
Is that true? You'll have to fact check us. You'll have to fact check us.
Making that up?
You'll have to fact check us.
There is a Perry, Texas.
There is a Perry, Texas.
For sure.
With very flimsy trees.
Oh, you know where I was this weekend?
Dallas.
At the high school championships in Texas. And, you know, everyone was pretty reasonable.
Do you want to, sorry, I'm going to cut you off one time. Do you want to specify what they were playing? Because you just told us you were at the high school championships in Texas. And that kind of sounds like the Hunger Games.
Okay, so I was paid to be there, but I kept on saying the high school Texas national championships. And I thought it was because, you know, how the rest of the world doesn't play in the World Series, which is baseball.
Colton? You still haven't told us what sport these kids were playing.
Football.
Football. Okay, great. It was a football
It doesn't matter. And swear to God,
it doesn't matter to you.
I didn't go in the stadium. That's actually one of the rules that I made up.
One of the rules you made up?
Was I'm not going in the stadium.
We can't go in the stadium,
I'm not going in the stadium. No one told me I couldn't, but I was like, I'm not going. I'm not going in.
My head that we can't go in the stadium. Well, today we're actually going to be talking about a story in Austin, Texas. I was trying to get you to really hone in here.
That's so close to home.
Pretty close to home, right up the street.
It's home.
Yeah. So earlier this month, Chris Beard, who is the UT men's basketball coach, he's a high-profile coach. UT's been playing really well this year. They were the second best team in the country for a little while there. Just earlier this month, on December 12th, there was a call about a domestic dispute at Chris Beard's house.
You're saying Chris Beard?
Chris Beard.
Chris Beard. More like Chris, come out already. You don't need a beard.
Well, he kind of beat his beard up a little bit, and now he's going to be on trial.
He shaved her.
Yeah, he got a little trim. We should not joke about domestic violence with hairstyles.
I actually didn't know what you were talking about. He beat up his wife?
Fiance.
Oh, okay.
But she kind of beat him up too.
You know what my dad says?
No, but I can't wait to hear.
He goes, my friend asked him if he was single. He goes, yeah, well, I have a fiance, but I'm not married. But the thing is, his brain can't take him being a bad guy.
Right.
So he has to make up rules like it's not cheating because I'm not. I am single because I'm not married.
So, in other words, your dad, rather than growing as a person, decides to blame his problems on other people? Sounds like he's got a lot of testosterone.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he has a lot of Colton in him. I'm like, was it a chicken or the egg?
I think it's you have a lot of him in you.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Whoa. Wow.
Wow. Well, the first things first is Chris Beard from Austin?
He's from Texas, I'm pretty sure. But he was a assistant for a little while and then wound up taking the job at Texas Tech. He was at Texas Tech for a little while. He had a ton of success at Texas Tech and wound up getting hired at UT in 2021. So this is like his second year playing in UT. Oh, he's from Georgia. I thought he was from Texas.
You know what? I have an interesting fact about basketball.
Do you?
And my best friend in college was a 6'8" Japanese man, and his brother was 7'2" and ended up playing in the professional Japanese league.
Oh, wow.
But he told me that that in basketball, coaches matter.
That's
But
what you wanted to-
in other sports,
that was your fun basketball
in
fact?
other sports they don't like call plays. Like it's not like as involved in other sports as
Like
what
baseball?
like baseball.
I think your friend is wrong. I think definitely coaches call other plays in other sports.
Oh no, he just meant. You know, it's hard to know what he meant.
Because he was Japanese or because he was a jock?
No, he actually his name was Paul Clifford.
Oh, but he was Japanese?
That's a
Okay.
good name.
That's a great name.
It was a great name. Hidden Takeshi. Paul
Are you guys
Takeshi.
related? Is
Yeah.
that?
I'm part Japanese.
Wow.
Are you?
Yeah.
I could see that.
Blonde haired,
could?
blue
I could
eyed.
see that.
What aspect of him seems the most Japanese to you?
1940 to 1945 ish.
Oh, you're going to go era.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Colton.
Yes, I have no problem with that because I believe that you are Japanese.
That's right. It's
And
not-
I'm wearing the kimono here.
It's not appropriation. I know. I'm the least Japanese guy in this room. Thanks a lot, y'all.
Oh, hi, I'm Martin. I never met a real Japanese before.
Oh,
This is
Why,
crazy.
geez, I love a good Benihana. I'll tell you that right now.
When you first started that accent, I was like, that's too much.
I know. I got worried too. I thought it was going to be a Japanese accent. And it was a fun Midwest one.
I went, oh, no. Okay. Did you guys watch Banzai as a kid?
Oh, God. No.
No? It doesn't matter. That is not what we're talking about.
All right.
And I actually made a promise with God today that I was not going to get us off topic.
Well, it's a good thing you don't believe in God. So this was December 12th, around midnight. There was a call placed to Austin Police Department, APD, about a domestic dispute. They rolled over to the house. It was Chris Beard and his fiance were at the house. And the story that she tells is that they were already having problems, right? There were problems in the trouble in paradise, if you will. And she had been trying to reach him all day, trying to call him and stuff like that. He was very hard to reach that day. He wasn't communicating with her. And when she got home, he was in the guest room and he was kind of twirling a pair of glasses. And she snatched the glasses out of his hand and like snapped them and broke them in half.
Well, what did he say?
Well, he was just kind of pissed, right?
Oh, so he didn't say anything?
No. And
He
so
didn't
then,
say, hey, those are my favorite pair of glasses.
well, it wasn't in the transcript.
Oh,
no.
okay. And but
Those were my favorite pair of glasses.
and then she said, I don't care because we've been having problems for a while now. He's like, yeah, I know we've been having problems for a while
She
now.
held him up and she goes, pretty easy to see this relationship hasn't been going so well.
My love language is touch, bitch.
So then apparently, according to his fiance's report, there was about a 10-15 minute lull where she was kind of chilling in the bedroom and he's in the guest room. And then he came in and just like snapped at her. And he slapped the glasses off her face.
Was she a different pair or the broken pair? Was
No,
she
different
wearing-
pair. She was also in glasses.
I thought she was wearing his broken pair. I was like, that's just taunting, and I like that.
That would have been a bold move. But slaps the glasses off her face and then like kind of put her in a chokehold. And then they both like bit each other. They both had bite marks on each other.
Where were the bite marks?
I think like arm. Like I think he got bit on the arm and like she got bit on the arm or shoulder.
So he probably was like doing a Randy Savage chokehold.
Randy Savage. Good name drop.
Thank you.
Good name drop.
And then she was doing a China, but the wrestler.
Right. You almost got in trouble with the Japanese. Don't bring China in.
Again, chokehold.
So yeah.
I like that there was like a pause in between her breaking his glasses and him coming in. Do you think he went into the bathroom and just gave himself like one of those halftime speeches?
Just like a pep talk.
Listen,
He's like,
one
all right,
moment."
fellas.
Listen, they're walking all over you out there. You need to go in there and an eye for an eye, break her glasses.
Yeah.
Seize the day.
Yeah. They just slapped the glasses off you in the first half. What are we doing to come back?
Do you guys ever remember like a speech, like a halftime, like a sports speech to you that was given to your team ever mattering?
Oh man, yeah. I remember one time we were like freshman year high school, freshman year basketball, and we were getting rocked and our team was bad and the coach was really pissed. And then he like yelled at one kid in particular and said something and I kind of laughed and Oh, man. He didn't know it was me who let Todd, if you're watching this, Todd Moore, a decent basketball coach, big alcoholic, I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure.
Todd Moore, he got so pissed that I laughed. Fucking slammed the laugh. Who fucking laughed? And it's like, I'm 14, dude. I did.
Yeah.
Like, it was funny. You yelled, and I was uncomfortable.
And then...
Oh, and then we lost by more. Nothing,
okay.
Yeah, it did not help.
There was one time I played football in high school.
So in your brain, I asked, did a coach ever yell at you?
And I was like, here's like when I was the funniest, when a coach was doing that thing. Sorry, Jerry.
One time I was in high school and we were playing this big team, and our coach gives us this big like speech, like, "Come on, guys, we can do this. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna crush them." And he had this white shirt on, this white polo, and he turns and he pushes the locker room door to the field open, and then he like yells one more thing back at us. Turns again, and the big, heavy wooden door comes back, smacks him in the face, knocks out the 3 bottom teeth. Yeah. He took the teeth. He's covered in blood. He like put them back in his mouth, and then spit blood on the floor, and then just ran out.
Wait, you put the teeth back?
I have no idea.
No, he didn't. He was...
What?
He put them in.
Like, put him like it down in his gum?
And then he goes in, and his white shirt is covered in blood, and he's still bleeding from his mouth. And he already looked like a crazy guy to begin with.
Yeah.
And so now he runs out, and I remember the ref looked at him and went, "Oh." It looked like Satan himself was coaching us.
Damn.
Did he just coach in the bloody shirt?
Bloody shirt.
Oh, did you guys win?
We won, yeah.
Oh, shit. Hell
You
yeah.
had to win that game.
got
What did he say after the game? Like, you guys, sorry about that.
Yo, what he said was, I can do it the whole time.
It was wild. This guy was crazy. Like, this coach was so insane. I remember one year we went to the state championship and we lost in the state championship. And so the next year we come into practice and it's like in the beginning of the year, and he always liked giving us these big speeches. And he's like, "Listen, last year we got all the way to the end and then we lost. But this year we're going to overcome. Okay, we're going to overcome like the Jews in the Holocaust.
Yes.
We overcome."
Except what's wild is that word, overcome, is actually like a slave song.
Is it?
We will overcome.
Yeah, it was wild.
Is that how it goes?
I can't. Don't quote me on the tune,
I'm going to let you do the legwork on that one.
but you can quote me on the words.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it's we shall overcome. Not
Okay.
we will overcome.
Shit.
I don't think you got either of those right.
I forgot they were Elizabethan. I always forget that about them. Damn.
Yeah, that dude was wild.
My brother played ball at Tulsa. Football. And the coach's brother was a pastor, and so he would like always try to like shove Bible verses into their... I'm gonna have to go kill someone.
Is that a tuba?
No, that's a piano.
Piano.
Oh. It sounds like a tuba with the headphones.
Oh, okay.
He would try to like just shove Christian, and I can't remember where it is like, and then Jesus washed themselves in cologne, and he took out a bottle of cologne and he poured it on himself, but cologne burns.
It's way too
and
much.
so he burned his eyes, and he was just like, "Ah, it burns my hair!" He just screaming in the locker room, "Oh no!" And my brother said that he was dying laughing because, of course, and everybody looked at him like, I don't, you shouldn't. All right. And on that note, we're going to take a break from our sponsors, Cologne.
Take a break from our sponsors. They've been a lot.
Sorry about that, Cologne. Don't fire us already. We'll be right back.
One eternity later.
And we're back.
All right.
Thank you guys so much. Cologne does smell good.
So the UT, this whole thing has been really weird. So as we're recording this, it's been about a week since Chris Beard got arrested for all of this. After he got arrested, his fiance came out and told Chris Beard's lawyer he wants him released from jail immediately, and she doesn't want to press any charges.
Mm-hmm.
So that already came out.
That's a ride or die.
Yeah, it's a weird situation. I mean, clearly he hit her, but like there's wounds inflicted on both people. It feels like it was a thing where they got into a fight, and then it just like boiled over a little bit.
Brittany Griner's like, "I've been there."
Yeah, Brittany Griner. There you go. Exactly. It's a classic Brittany Griner situation.
I mean, if you're with somebody, you're going to get married to them. I feel like even if he did punch her and like really hurt her and it was all his fault, which it sounds like it could be, shouldn't have hit her glasses. I mean, I don't feel like that's the thing.
What's the closest?
You're getting to, like, you love that person and you're realizing that by pressing charges, by doing all this, you're going to ruin their fucking life.
Yeah.
And you're going, I don't think that their whole life should be ruined. I think that they should just stop fucking hitting me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough call. I think it really, as more details come out, again, this story is very new, so we don't have all the deets yet. As more details come out, I think we'll be able to have like a better opinion on it. As of now, I think he should for sure get fired from this job. And then if things come out like later, then there's an opportunity. He'll always be able to get another job. Like,
oh, yeah?
He's a pretty well put together basketball coach who's like got a good pedigree and everything like that. So
Pedigree? His dad was a coach too?
No, just like his resume. Like his resume is really good. So he's got like a national championship on his resume. He's got division titles on his resume. Like, he will be fine. He will get, if Deshaun Watson can play quarterback again, Chris Beard will coach again.
But here's the thing: is like, do you guys find it at all odd? Sure, it's horrible that he would beat up his fiance, but like.
I don't like the preface.
I
I'm gonna
haven't.
tell you right
The
now.
caveat.
No, but
Sure, it's bad.
But why do like people in these type of jobs? Why is their job always threatened whenever they do something bad? Like, there's never been a construction worker that beat up his wife and then got fired from his job.
Well, yeah, but when you're a construction worker, beating your wife is a part of your job.
I know.
I was
That's
gonna
like
say,
being a cop, you know? It just comes with the territory.
I feel like be a construction worker, and maybe this is me just watching movies, but like have a whole different set of like checks and balances. Like, the union boss is gonna come and fucking like, and the boys are gonna come beat your ass. Because that's
Are you basing this off season 2 of The Wire? Like, what are you basing this off of?
I love that show. That was a really good one. I'm just imagining that there's just like a little bit closer knit as a crew. Because I feel like that's how they talk about themselves, is like construction crew.
I mean, I think the real answer to your question is because they're in the public eye, you know? Like, name your 5 favorite construction workers.
Bob the Builder.
That's true.
Yeah, and if Bob hit his wife, they'd take him off TV. Okay?
Donald Trump.
His wife's like, "Can we fix it?" He's like, "Shut up, bitch."
God damn, those are my favorite glasses.
Those are my favorite glasses. So I think that's really what it boils down to, is these jobs are just in like the public eye. So, you know, if you work with a construction worker that hit his wife, like, there's no way of you knowing, you know, nobody reported that on the news.
I wish that, maybe I don't wish, but I wish we lived in a society, and again, I wish, maybe I don't wish, we lived in a society where we could do a reenactment of her breaking his glasses, and then it would be like, Warby Parker, your second replacement is free.
Oh yeah, like they make it like he gets like a new sponsorship deal out of it.
Do you, like a
Come to See Optical.
Yeah, Cabela's, your glasses won't break here. Like, it's a good place.
Or he's being cuffed and put into the cop car, and then it just pauses. But if he had gone to Warby Parker, this wouldn't have been an issue.
Yeah,
Right.
he wouldn't have gotten so gosh darn mad.
If only. Oh man, yeah. Wow, I didn't realize we were gonna make domestic violence so fun, but here we are. You know.
It's not fun when you're living in it, but it is. My childhood. A lot of domestic violence.
Yeah.
You know, dad punching holes in the wall, trying to punch my face, even though that's my best asset, other than my ass. Funny to talk about it now. Like, I remember one time my dad was so mad, and he was chasing us out the house, but we lived in Colorado, and he slipped and he fell.
Pretty funny.
So funny.
Pretty funny.
We were
situation.
driving away, fearing for our safety, but he fell, and we were like, "Ha, good."
Wait, you could drive at this point?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It actually, me being able to drive and defend myself just heightened things. Because then it became...
He's on the move.
It became me warring with my dad, opposed to like just accepting that I can't do anything about it.
Aren't you bigger than him?
Yeah, but he was an airborne ranger. Like, this guy, even old, this man could fuck you up somehow. Like, he still tries to get in fights at bars.
That's pretty cool.
I'm like, Dad, you shouldn't get a drug because his shoulders can't go above here because he has no cartilage in them.
Oh my god.
And he'll still be like, I'm gonna fuck that guy up. I'm like, what are you gonna do? Kick him in the shins? Like, what are you doing?
We'll call it a draw. What are you gonna do? Bite my legs off?
Yeah. What, a rear chokehold? And yeah, that guy's gonna end up with a lot of bite marks. Unlike Chris Beard.
Unlike Chris Beard. Nice.
Why did
nice
she not get
transition.
arrested if she, fucked him up too?
Just kind of the lay of the land. She was the one that filed the report. Chris Beard was pretty cooperative with the police. He claims that he has audio, like he recorded the fight, and he claims that he has audio proof of the fact that the fight was kind of a two-way street. But he didn't allow the cops to listen to that audio at the scene of the crime. I think he's waiting to play it for his lawyer. The thing, though, is that I think now that he's admitted it, if this goes to court, they have to play it. Because it's already been established evidence that he claims that he has. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you hear the audio and it's like, in this corner.
Yeah. Right.
Weighing in at 210 pounds.
Yeah.
It's her just being like, oh, look, you sat on your fucking glasses again, you idiot. And he's like, well, I oughta. It's the whole fucking audio.
Yeah, okay, fine, Your Honor. I broke my glasses.
All right. It came out on my phone that I broke my glasses.
If you get caught like submitting evidence about, I don't know, a domestic dispute, but it's also like admitting to doing cocaine on that video, does the court then pursue charges on that? Right. No, right?
Well, I don't think they can just arrest you for doing cocaine.
I don't know that.
Like, I don't think that... Excuse me. I don't think that the police can be like, hey, did you do cocaine 3 weeks ago? And then I'm like, yeah, I did. And they're like, you don't have any on you right now, though? And I'm like, no, I don't. They go, okay, well, you're still going to jail. I don't think that's how it works.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. Should we try
I
it?
looked at Jimmy.
Should we try it? We were going to do a man on the street.
Well,
Should we just interview a cop and be like, hey, I did cocaine 2 weeks ago. Can you arrest me right now?
Huh. I don't know. Oh, man on the street.
We'll find out, yeah.
We'll have to go
Man on
find
the
a cop.
street.
And actually, if you're a cop, just let us know. Some of
Yeah.
this is bad. Nope. seasonedvets@gmail.com.
Oh, man. So, yeah, the whole Chris Beard thing, it's kind of happening right now. As we get a couple more details and the trial starts to unfold and issues start to unfold, we'll do some updates. But I found a couple other coaches that have had some mess ups in the last year or so. One of them lost his job. No other one didn't. And so those were kind of some fun stories we were going to do. Okay. One of the coaches is Greg McDermott. Greg McDermott, he's the head coach of Creighton basketball right now. After a loss to Xavier, Greg McDermott went into the locker room with his team and tried to give them a little pep talk. Now, in the pep talk, he used the quote, "I need everyone on the plantation. I can't have anybody leave the plantation." So he kind of fucked up.
Is that a famous quote?
No. You just can't say that to a room full of black guys, Colton.
Oh, you're assuming because it's a basketball team?
I am absolutely assuming because it's a basketball team, yeah.
I mean, I
No,
guess
there were black players on the team. One of the coaches is on the board for like he has a black assistant coach, and he's like on the board of this like Coaches Forward organization or something like that like promotes equality in NCAA basketball.
plantations still exist, though, right? Like, there's no slavery on them, but it's like the Dole factory is a plantation, right?
I don't think so.
There are plantations, but like I don't know if they're still.
I
in
think
use.
plantations are more. I think the plantations have been repurposed.
Yeah, another bed and breakfast.
But yeah, I think the plantation is more of like it's a single family on a giant farm. So I think what you're thinking of They're called farms now.
Oh, a farm. All right, what if he said, I can't have everybody leaving the farm. You guys need to stay in the farm.
Still sounds pretty bad.
That's so bad.
Still sounds pretty rough.
I'm just trying to figure out what on fucking earth he was talking about.
I don't know. And it's just like, so Greg McDermott didn't wind up losing his job. I think he got suspended for like a game, and that was it. He didn't really get any big punishment. And the reason he didn't get any big punishment was because he outed himself. He went on Twitter after the game and was like, hey, I said plantation a bunch of times in a post-game pep talk. I'm really sorry. And so he like got out ahead of it. And he was like, I did this. I fucked up. He offered to like step down as the head coach. And the player's like, no, it's happened to us before. Like you can keep coaching, and everything like leveled out.
Oh, so he kept his job.
Yeah, but the thing is like he knew he fucked up immediately. Like he said it, and then he was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have said that." But I don't know what would make you say plantation in the first place.
And who was lead? Was somebody just try to like, I need to use the bathroom right now. No, there's a meeting. Okay, I can't have people leaving the plantation.
Yeah, right.
What was?
Or if they were in like a greenhouse and he was actually trying to say plant station.
Yeah.
He just like fucked it up.
Huh.
I was trying to see too. I was like, maybe he's from like South Carolina, where that's like a saying where he's from. He's from Iowa.
Do you think it's kind of like a Seinfeld episode where once he said it at the first time, he just can't help but keep making those references?
I think so.
Like someone fucked up and he goes, well, time to crack the whip.
Yeah, he just keeps doing them. Wait a cotton picking minute here. Oh, no.
Yeah, I really want to know what he was trying to get them to do.
Yeah, well, it's...
And why were they
right.
leaving? Why were they leaving?
Yeah, well, I think it was more just like he didn't feel like his team had a lot of chemistry. So he was like, I know. I can get them to all hate me by saying plantation a bunch. And then these guys are just going to gel.
I've had coaches that are like, I can tell specifically want us to hate them.
I think so. I think there's certain times where, like, as a coach, there's a benefit to being like, okay, all the players can kind of get on board with this one thing.
With this one thing, and that one thing is slave references.
Is just, the South rising again.
Boys, we're not gelling, so while we play all of the plays today, I want you to start singing spirituals.
Yeah. What do I got to do? Chain you guys together to get you to get you to play better?
Oh, shit.
Greg McDermott did not say that. Don't sue us, Greg. But yeah, so he kind of came out and he got like way ahead of it. But I think it was funny that it was like he said it. And have you guys ever done that? Have you guys ever said something and then realized immediately you fucked up?
Yeah. Yeah.
My girlfriend got so pissed at me this week because I got home from work, and she works from home, right? So she was like she's just like in sweats and like her hair is a mess and stuff like that. And I come home from work.
Her hair's a mess.
No,
and she
great.
just looks awful. Okay.
But she comes up to me and she goes, I'm sorry I'm so disheveled today. And I go, what do you mean today? She didn't talk to me the rest of the fucking night.
Yeah.
Fuck that one up.
But your point is she works from home, so she doesn't have to look.
I thought it was funny. I said it. Jimmy laughed when I said it. Like, and clearly there's some comedic value.
No, he didn't laugh at what you said. He laughed at how fucking stupid it was that you would say that to her, thinking like, oh, she'll love this.
It wasn't. It was one of those things where I was like, I knew the joke I was going to make, and I'm like, this probably isn't going to land, but I'm doing it for me.
Yeah.
I got in a lot of trouble.
I said, Chip, I love you so much, and I'm so happy that I don't love you for your looks.
I know, I remember that. This is the meanest thing I've ever heard somebody say to another person that they care about.
But I thought that was like the nicest thing. What I'm saying is...
I can't believe you said that.
I really thought I was saying the nicest thing, because I was saying, I want to grow old together with you.
Bro, I swear, I think Chip could do stand-up based on all of the heckles that he's received in his personal life.
Oh,
There's nothing
God.
anyone can say to him that would ever
Chip
take him
is
down.
arguably funnier than Colton. I will
know
die
it.
on that hill.
And I'll die on that hill too. Come to my house. It's a blast. I'm the least funny person there.
Oh man. So yeah, that was Greg McDermott. I don't know. That was kind of a weird little blurb from him, but I saved the best for last. There's another guy, another Greg, second Greg. This was the head coach of the Wichita State University basketball team.
That was a mouthful.
Yeah, Wichita State University, the Shockers.
Okay.
Have you ever been to Wichita?
I feel like I have.
It's a weird town.
That's where BTK was from.
Yeah, BTK.
Wichita,
Oh, we
Wichita.
went to Wichita.
Isn't that right by Lincoln?
Yeah, we did Megan Welch. We did that bar show in Wichita.
Yes.
And that, you remember there was that homeless lady and you gave her a pack of cigarettes and she started crying?
Nope.
You don't remember that? And we went
No.
to that really weird gay bar and there was only like 4 people in there.
No, but those are separate ones. Oh. I think those, when it was like a huge, giant, like,
No, that
compound gay one?
That was Omaha.
Oh, okay.
That was the night I learned that gay dudes hit on other gay dudes the way straight men hit on women. It was little non sequitur, but Colton took me to a gay bar in Omaha, Nebraska, which is exactly what it sounds like it's supposed to be. And this guy comes up to the table and he's in like this, like, he looks like the fucking brawny man, but
Wait.
like the gay version.
What, I don't know what you think a gay bar in Omaha, Nebraska is, but this was like a giant megaplex that had rotating rooms.
But there were like 9 people.
There were 9 people there. But on different nights, the entire sectors of they would be like, on Friday, this wing of the gay bar is open and it's fucking diaper night.
So the place was called Cornholes, and no.
I'm shocked that a gay bar in Omaha, Nebraska can stay in business. Like, are there
That's
gay
where, all
people
gay,
there?
that's where all the gays are in
Omaha,
in
Nebraska.
Nebraska. That's where Nebraska keeps
Yeah.
all its gays.
Yep, they flock there.
And then there's like 3 in Lincoln, and they just commute.
They work at the Omaha, Nebraska, like Omaha Steak Factory.
Omaha steak.
and they just
That's
go,
right. Get your hands on
meat
some
is
meat.
my life.
Meat. It's what we do. It's in the gay.
So it's EA Sports. It's
Yeah.
in the gay. I like that a lot. We could do that for like a merch thing. So Greg Marshall, we'll get back to Greg Marshall. Greg Marshall, he's the head coach at Wichita State. He was an incredibly successful basketball coach. Wichita State's a really small university. He took them to the Final Four one year. He had been the head coach there for almost 15 years. He started in 2007, and he just resigned at the beginning of this season. Now, the reason Greg Marshall had to resign was because in October of this year, there were a ton of reports coming out about all this harassment, physical violence, racism that was just perpetuated by, like, single-handedly by one guy in the program. So
And
we're
he
gonna
was
run
beating up
through-
the kids?
Literally beating up the kids.
Damn.
So,
It sucks because and this is an awful thing to say, but it worked.
it really did. I mean, he was a great basketball coach. He had I think he had like a 72% winning percentage by the end of his tenure there. So he was winning 7 out of every 10 games that they played.
Is that good?
That's incredible.
That's incredible.
That's I mean, so you're essentially going 7-3, right? Like,
I mean, sometimes you gotta push the bounds, you know.
you just got to push these kids.
And I don't know if I agree with it. Let's find out.
Yeah, you
Do
want
I
to
agree with
hear
it?
some of the stuff that he did? So we'll go into some of the not lighter ones, but we'll go into the stuff that he did that didn't involve physically hurting anybody first. There was one kid who was of Colombian descent on his team, and that kid had trouble catching the ball, and he told that kid he'd be a really good coffee bean picker instead. So kind of fun racism there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was just gonna be like a casual Pablo Escobar.
No,
name.
he went the coffee route.
And then I was gonna be like, we should come up with names that you think he called it.
He went the coffee route. Well, what's the Juan Valdez? Juan Valdez is the Colombian coffee guy. There was a white player who didn't take an open shot in practice because like a black player closed out on him. And he goes, I think you're afraid of the brothers. You know, the guys raised by their grandparents eating PB&Js. What a fucking weird stereotype to like.
PB&Js are delicious. That's
Yeah.
all I could think
Well,
of.
and also, like, I don't, don't get me wrong. Racism is terrible, but you can't come up with, like, that's such a specific black stereotype.
It's also like that Dave Chappelle joke where it's like, why is all these people not liking watermelon and chicken?
Yeah,
It's
right?
like,
Peanut
this
butter
fucking
and
sounds
jelly
delicious.
is like a fundamentally great food.
I mean, I could go for one right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't age out of a PB&J either.
No, we'll do some PB&Js next week.
Do you eat bologna?
I eat everything.
But
I will. I'm not like, I don't seek it out.
you'll eat bologna.
Yeah.
Ew.
You don't eat bologna?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, what do you eat?
Jimmy John's might slide some bologna on there. I haven't looked into it.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jimmy John's is literally like the worst meat you can put in.
Yeah, I think of things as like sandwiches. I don't really think of things as like the things that are in
Just
sandwiches.
like the end product.
Yeah.
You're like, no, there's all this bread and vegetables.
What I
and-
had was sandwich.
Right. Well, what you're going to have is colon cancer because that's what Jimmy John's gives you.
I'm just,
Jimmy?
Yeah.
I'm just confused. Wait a minute. So there are reports of him beating kids.
Yeah.
And then another guy's like, he said my grandmother raised me and I ate PB&J.
Yeah.
Add that to the list. Add that to the list.
There was another kid that showed up to camp overweight, and so he pulled this kid's shirt up and started flabbing his belly around and yelling at the personal trainer, like for the conditioning coach for the team.
Oh,
That
that's
was another thing he did.
Okay, well, here's the thing. When I was in middle school, I had this one teacher, and there was this fat kid in the back of the room that always talked. And so one day he made the fat kid come in front, stand on one foot, balance textbooks on both hands, and then, like, made fun of the fact that he was fat in front of the whole class. And this was like a 7th grade history class.
that
See, but
kid
this is
grew up
like-
to be Jackie Chan.
That guy didn't get fired.
This is like this is like
He's not a
talking
coach
to,
or anything.
This is like talking to hecklers though, where it's like there's a certain point where somebody's heckling so much that you're allowed to be that mean.
Yeah.
You know, where like this kid just showed up a little, like if that kid just would have showed up a little overweight but didn't talk,
Yeah.
and then he made him do that, fire that guy.
But
if
wha-
the kid won't shut the fuck up, and it's like, listen, you're
That's
too
not about the
fat to be
kid.
that sassy, like get up there and pick those textbooks up.
He wasn't coming at the kid though. He's coming at the personal trainer. Like, you suck at your job. This kid's fat.
I think when you're jiggling somebody's belly and yelling at another person, it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal.
I just can't imagine. The confidence involved in somebody else going.
Is this fat kid on scholarship?
Yeah.
Then why I am on his side? Dude, we're paying you money and you show up
He's
fat.
like, we're cutting your meal per diem on this fucking scholarship. You're eating celery sticks. There was a Native American kid that was on the team that he told that kid to get back on his horse, and he would make like indigenous person howling noises at him.
Okay, this guy's got some chops.
He's really, I mean, honestly, Colton, I think he's free for a weekend if you guys need anybody.
I know it. All the things he's saying are awful, but he's at least creative.
He sounds like a comedian in Austin.
Yeah.
And not like a certain one, just an amalgamation
Just
of a bunch of them.
yeah.
I swear to God, if you guys don't act up, then I'm gonna beat the shit out of you worse than Beard beat up his wife.
It's exactly it. But yeah, so there was one in particular, the case that kind of really broke the story was there were 2 guys that came out and were willing to identify themselves. Everybody else, all these other accusations are from anonymous sources. So the kid that came out was named Shaquille Marshall. And Shaquille Marshall, they were playing a scrimmage one night, and it's like right before a pep rally. It's like hours before like a big student like homecoming type pep rally type thing. And he fouls one of the other guys on the team kind of hard. Wasn't an intentional foul, right? Just hard playing foul. He's helping this kid back up to his feet after he fouled him, and Greg Marshall just comes out the side and fucking punches him in the side of the face. Right? And the kid's just like, what the fuck? Like, why
Yeah.
did you do that? And Greg Marshall wanted him to, like, literally roll around on the ground on the other court or some shit like that until practice was over. And he's like, fuck that, I'm leaving. And Marshall's just yelling all kinds of shit at him. And that was in 2015, 2016. So that was about 6-7 years ago. And there was another anonymous report that just came out this year from Greg Marshall being violent towards a coach. He choked one of his coaches out. And after that report came out, this player was like, okay, I'm going to come out and identify myself. Mm-hmm. And so he came out. He was like, this is what happened. I got punched. The next day, I was in practice, and the coach came out and he was like, hey, I'm sorry. I overreacted, but we're good, right? We're good. And the guy's like, all right. And that was the end of it.
What's the guy's name, the player?
Shaquille Marshall.
Marshall.
This was the thing I was curious about, right? Because it's basketball players. So it's like, who did he punch? So Greg Marshall is 6'2".
Oh, yeah. Did any of them go to the league?
He's had players from Wichita State that have gone to the league. There are guys under his coaching tenure. The biggest player that has made the league is this guy named Fred VanVleet, who Fred VanVleet's like a starting guard in the NBA.
That's a fucking cool name.
It's a cool name, isn't it? He's an NBA champion. He won a championship. He's like he's not like an all-star, but he's a pretty high-profile player. If you know basketball, you know his name. If you're a casual fan, you probably don't. But I looked into it because I was like, okay, he hit a basketball player. How big is this guy? So the coach, 6'2", a little under 200 pounds, right? The guy he hit is 6'8", 280 pounds. Like, murder your coach.
Yeah, it's also, I'm wondering, when a small lady hits me, that doesn't hurt at all, right? So I'm 6 foot. If somebody 5'2" hit me, it would be like you'd have to really.
Not only 5'2", but this is a person you have about 100 pounds on.
Right. So if there was a 80-pound girl, or man. That hit me in the face.
If there was a child,
I probably would be like, why did you do that? And if that child was like, hey, go roll around over there, I'd be like, no.
Well, and I think this is like, okay, so we're talking roll around over. If I literally want to find a kid that I can pay to hit you in the face and then tell you to go roll around.
I swear to God, if we find it, I'll do it.
It would be so funny. Maybe in The Man on the Street.
When you told me the story of this kid coming out and being like, I'm gonna say it, and I'll identify myself, it kind of sounds like Trump during like a debate where he'd be like, oh, pussy Shaquille, he's a classic pussy.
Baby Shaquille.
Because this guy's clever. Like, he'll have a nickname for
that's
him, and
right.
then everyone, the fatty Magoo, he can't handle.
I punched him in the face, and that's how I beat Shaq, you know?
Sorry, his face shouldn't have looked like punchable. Have you ever seen a punchable face? He had a punchable face.
Yeah.
He says he's a college athlete, and yet he can't take one simple punch to the face.
6'8", 100 pounds bigger than me, still took him down. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Just one punch. All it took, and he left.
They call me Coach Hands.
Yeah. They call me Coach Hands.
I coach hands-on. That's how my style of coaching is hands-on.
My favorite thing about reading about Greg Marshall was, we were talking about how, like, a coach is an asshole and that, like, bonds the players together. Every single player in this report says, I've never been a part of a tighter team because we all just wanted to fucking kill that guy. There was one guy, what did he say? He goes, we all wanted to beat him up. If he wasn't the head coach, I'd have beat his ass. Literally every single player that's in this report was like, we were so tight off the court as a team because we would go and this guy would just physically and verbally berate us.
Right.
Every single time. The Shaquille, it's kind of sad. The Shaquille Morris guy, he's a pro basketball player I think he's in Asia right now, or he's in Europe. He's overseas. And he was like, I don't even like basketball anymore. Oh. He's like, this guy made me hate basketball. But he still plays because you're 6'8". What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
You don't see a lot of like 7-foot mechanics.
I mean, you could fit under the car. You could fit under the car.
Yeah,
you can work on the car. Because you don't see a lot of 7-foot people.
Right, they're all playing basketball.
They're not all
There's
playing
this
basketball.
crazy study. I'll bring it out next time we do a basketball episode. But there's this crazy study where if you're like 6'11" or taller, you have like an 18% chance of making the NBA.
Huh. So
Like
you don't have to be that good, is the point.
They completely recruit off of like size and potential.
Well, you
and stuff
can't
like
teach
that.
size.
Right,
You can teach them how to do a layup.
So it's if you the other thing is that if you're that tall, I mean there's growth spurts and stuff like that. But if you're like 6'10", 7 foot, something like that, you've been tall your whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you shot up again, but if you're 7 feet, it probably means you were like 6 feet tall in middle school. So it's not even necessarily like, oh, you're 7 feet tall, people think you should play basketball. It's, oh, you're 12 years old and you're 6 feet tall. Let's put a basketball in your hands.
Yeah.
So it's they pick these fucking kids out from adolescence, and then it's just like, no, you're supposed to play basketball. You're supposed to play basketball. You're supposed to play basketball, and then they, it's just you're groomed into it.
I gotta tell you, I like this coach. I do. I like him. Haven't you ever heard the saying, once the coach stops yelling at you, that's when there's a problem?
Yeah. Yeah. He never stopped yelling.
Listen, he cares.
Once
He cares.
Once the coach stops shoehorning racist references into his strategy, that's where the problem starts.
I mean, he found a way to make it hurt, right?
Yeah.
And he knew that sandwich comment to us sounds innocuous, but to
Right.
that kid, it fucking stuck with him.
If he would have told that white kid, hey, I think you're afraid of the brothers, those fine, upstanding citizens, wonderful examples of how to act in society, that kid still would have kept not shooting open threes.
I mean, he sounds like a dog shit person, but can you coach without those results? Wait, you have to tell me because I don't know. Is there a good coach?
Oh, like a Zen coach?
A coach just like, hey guys, it's on the hips.
Yeah, there is. Oh, God, what's his name? Is it Mike McDaniel? Do you know the guy that's head coaching the Miami Dolphins right now?
No.
So there's this guy, and he's the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, and he's literally
the football team?
Yeah, he's literally like the funniest guy. Yeah, his name's Mike McDaniel, and he's like the funniest guy coaching.
I see a
right
picture.
now. Yeah. So this is way off topic, but I don't care. He did he's mic'd up for like every game because he's just so goofy. He's a total nerd. So you'll do a little picture of Mike McDaniel. But there was one game where one of his players dodged a tackle or whatever, right? And then ran for a first down. And the guy goes to the sidelines and he walks over to the guy and goes, hey, you know that play where the guy tried to tackle you and you just didn't let him tackle you? And the guy's like, yeah. He goes, it was a really good play. You should do that. You should do that more. And the guy's like, yeah, it's a broken tackle. He goes, yeah, broken tackle. You're right. So he does like little shit like that. He's hilarious. He's a good coach. But yeah, there are good coaches, but a lot of them yell.
A lot of them yell.
A lot of them yell.
Okay.
Do you think that it's harder for a guy like Chris Beard to like deal with confrontation when you can't just send them to take laps?
You can't just make your wife run around the block a couple
Exactly.
times.
She breaks the glasses. He's like, that's 3. Take 3 laps. She's like, no, I'm not doing that. And he goes, okay, well, I only have one other option.
It's really gotta be fucking hard because it's like I think it's the same thing with like comedy. Like I think about like roast comedians and stuff like that too, and it's like your entire career, the thing that you're making money off of is this personality that you've cultivated, and it's like that society is rewarding you for behaving that way. Like I think that's definitely what happened to this Greg.
Marshall?
Yeah,
Abbott.
Greg Marshall. I think Greg Marshall, it's a thing where like he probably wasn't hitting his kids from the first practice, but eventually it's like I've gotten so much success from being a hard ass, I need to ramp it up. I need to keep ramping it up. So I do think it's really tough to be like, if you're a head coach and your entire job is being in control of all these other people and telling them where to move, telling them how to go, and it goes even further than just like practice of the games, right? You're telling them, hey, this is how you have to eat. You have to be physically ready for this. You have to be organized like this. When it's college, you have to be studying for this. So I think it is like you get home and your wife's like, you're not paying attention to me. And it's like, yeah, go fucking do some up and downs and then come get back to me. Like, I'm busy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, even like if you were the president, can you imagine just like, I can tell anybody what to do, and then somebody asks you what to do, and you're like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I think it is. I think when you get into that, really in any industry, when it's you're being rewarded for a certain behavior, but that behavior isn't like just a universally normal behavior, you know what I mean? It's got to be hard to like separate.
I also think that like obviously anger is the easiest to tap into. Like getting you to love me, hard. Getting you to be angry at me,
Very
super easy.
Very
If there's a turnaround where you're getting a new team every 4 years, like the easiest way to coach, to be a good coach, is to it's the most. I don't. What the fuck
Just
do I know?
lay into it. With that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I do. I think it is tricky to turn off. So Greg Marshall, after all this stuff came out, still didn't get fired. They never fired him. They did force him to resign, but when you resign, you still get all the money, right?
Really? When you resign?
He did. So he had 2 years at $3.5 million left on his contract at Wichita State. He's getting all of it, even though he got fired. And so they broke it down a little bit.
Is he able to go somewhere else? Is he going somewhere else?
He could. He's not yet.
How
I
old-
don't know if he'll get another
How old
job.
is he?
Like late 50s. So he's definitely got a lot
Okay.
of time left. Like college basketball especially, those guys will coach into their 70s. Yeah, so he won like $250K in like a lump sum, and then Wichita State is going to be paying him $50,000 every 2 weeks over the span of 156 payments to receive his full $7.5 million on the deal.
Damn.
Yeah. He says there's no wrongdoing. I never hit anybody, and all these accusations are false.
Oh, so he said I didn't even hit that kid. I did
He
tell him
said,
to
"I
go
didn't
roll
hit anybody."
around over there.
Yeah. He's like, I didn't hit that kid. Now the Indian kid.
Oh, wait. So he's like, yeah, maybe I said some inappropriate things.
He's denying all wrongdoing whatsoever.
Of course.
Yeah.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, wasn't me.
I mean, where's the proof?
He just pulled a Shaggy.
Do you guys have proof? No? Well, then I
wonder
didn't do
what
it.
racial slurs he would use against Shaggy, honestly.
You grandma
Jamaican.
loving peanut butter jelly eating.
Yeah. Who raised you? Was
Right.
it your Tia?
Yeah, you peanut butter jelly eating.
Peanut butter jelly.
But yeah, well, those are the coaches. That's the episode for today. We got. Oh, did you know Shaggy's 54 years old?
Yeah, he looks old.
Wow,
I could believe it.
crazy. Maybe it was him and he just forgot. He's just early onset Alzheimer's.
It wasn't me. It kind of sounds a little bit like what's happening around. What is
You
that?
sound like Gollum.
Stitch.
Gollum.
You
Stitch.
sound like,
a little bit like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, okay, yeah, that one too. There you go.
Oh, Hannah means family. Yeah, give it to you.
Mr. Bombastic.
Still have yet to do a Mr. Bombasket. Yeah, Bombasket. That's not right.
Bombastic.
What was that? That was like the first house party music video that I saw that I was like, I gotta go to a house party.
Mr. Bombastic?
No, the one that's like Sean Paul and Shaggy.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know about that.
Maybe it's not, doesn't exist.
That's okay.
But that's
Well,
been it.
That's our episode for today, talking about a couple coaches. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys.
Basketball season is happening, whether you like it or we don't. So if we want them to be coached by a coach, we got to choose better ones.
Yeah, write a letter to if you're in Wichita, write a letter to Wichita State and tell them if they hire another abusive basketball coach, I'll kill again. That's a BTK reference.
And if you have a basketball coach in your life or just a regular sports coach, I will film a "you shouldn't have done that" video for you.
Yeah.
I'm not charging for these.
We'll also film a transfer video. If you're in college sports and you want to transfer into the transfer portal and out of the school you're in, we'll do it for you.
Yeah, if you have just "you shouldn't have fucked me over," Coach Schneff. Coach Schneff was a great guy, but terrible coach. He's a great guy, awful coach.
Okay.
But I'd make a video for that.
All right.
Or-
we'll see you guys next week.
Follow
Or an
the Instagram.
apology.
Yeah. Follow Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Are we on Twitter?
Not yet. We will be.
Is anybody?
Not yet. We're working on it. Elon Musk, you rat bastard.
All right. Bye, Coach Sneff.